If you currently live independently, I want you to think about who raised you. What skills did they teach you? Do you still practice those skills now? Maybe you could take a moment just to say, thank you. Thank you for teaching me that. If you're a parent, I want you to think about who are you raising? What are you teaching them? Will they still carry these skills into their adulthood? And will they thank you in the future for teaching them these skills? Well, I want to tell you about who raised me. My dad was a very neat person, didn't like clutter, and he taught me to be a strong, independent, capable human being. So from at the age of probably 11 or 12, I was mowing the lawn with a push mower. I was washing the dishes by hand, and I was vacuuming with a vacuum cleaner, of course. So I want to teach these skills to my children too. But one really big milestone that I want to reach with them is I want to be able to leave them home alone. Now, I'm pretty sure that they're not going to get into some funny antics with some thieves trying to come into our house. But I'm really scared that they are going to leave a mess. When I come into the mudroom where we enter our house, there's socks just thrown wherever, okay? Jackets not hung up on the floor, on the bench. And then I enter my kitchen. There's snack containers just empty, thrown on the counter. Oh, I can't stand the mess. So we as a family must conquer these skills before I can leave them home alone. Now, I've started with my middle schooler, and he has a routine every day he comes home. He hangs up his backpack. He puts his socks away. I'm okay if he wants to tuck them back in his shoe and wear them the next day, but they can't be left around the house. He showers. He changes, charges his Chromebook, has a snack. I make sure the snack wrapper goes in the trash. And you know what? He's been doing really good with it. But I'm still not convinced. He's able to do the things I've told him to do. But what if life throws him a curveball? I've already given him the answers to the test. But what if there's a question that we're not prepared for? So I couldn't believe it when he started doing the following things. Every morning, he gets up and fills his own water bottle. I hear that ice machine going clunk, 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 and I know, well, he's already up. Last week, he even brought in the trash can from the sidewalk. I have it on the security camera. Great. And just the other day after swim class, he took his wet swim trunks and he hung them up with two clothespins. Two clothespins, not just one, two clothespins. And my heart grew 1,000 sizes. I said, job well done. Job well done, Mom. You really instilled in your child some practical skills that you didn't actually teach him directly, but that he's probably observed you doing throughout the years. So what can this teach us? It can teach us that with repetition, with routine, everyone can learn new skills and maybe even pick up a few new ones on their own. But you're probably wondering, Lisa, are you ready to leave him alone? Well, I still have to convince the other parent in the family, but I currently am okay leaving him alone just for a few hours. And every time I leave him home alone, I do tell him, don't burn the house down. And he hasn't since. So I'm not really sure what it's going to take for the other parent in the household to let him stay home alone. But I certainly am ready. And I'm pretty confident that when I come home, there won't be any socks on the floor. There won't be jackets on the floor. All snack wrappers will have gone into the trash. And then my next task is to help my 8-year-old do the same. Because she can't be left alone, left home alone yet, but in a few years, I'm hoping that she can be. So now, if you'll excuse me, I have to clean up the mess behind me because it's already irritating me. Thank you.
Was. And thank you, Lisa, for a great speech entitled Home Alone. Lisa is pondering when it would be the right time to leave her child alone. Um, and she gives some examples and some evidence that she's found or she's seen in her older child that, she's ready, but, is the other parent ready? So thank you for the speech and the topic. I want to commend you on being kind of a master of virtual speeches. I feel like you use your setting very well. You use props very well. You use the space very well. And so I think you showed that off in this speech as well, including taking a bite out of a Snickers and continuing your speech. I've never seen that. Never seen a person take a bite of food and continue to speak perfectly. I was impressed. That was very good. So that was very good. You also incorporated your vocal variety very well, and your pacing was very good. Some things that you may want to work on. So this speech, the speech project was to engage your audience with humor, and you're supposed to determine your style of humor and apply it to a speech around your message. For me, I didn't get your style of humor in this speech, and I feel like your style of humor was shown better in other speeches, previous speeches. I feel like I'm not a part of this pathway, and I don't know what all the description of the path and or the project and how you're supposed to determine your type of humor. But I feel like when you try to be funny or you're supposed to be funny, it's not as funny. You're funnier when, like even your table topic, you were crying, laughing, telling the story, and that was hilarious. So I think you may want to work on incorporating the humor more into your speech so it comes across clearer. I think the props, the throwing, the socks over your shoulder was a part of it, but you didn't really bring it back after that. So incorporating more humor into your speech for this type of speech. And something to challenge you on is when you started your speech, you started with some like introspective questions. And I was wondering, because I have your evaluation form, I was wondering, do I have the wrong evaluation form? Is this the right speech? So maybe if you started your speech with like a joke or with a funny story, that would start off the humor on a good path, and you can build on it from there. But otherwise, it was a very great speech. Thank you again.